Hey guys, we're back. We are going to be checking out the little motor that's been sitting here for a while now. It's been sitting. We're gonna pull the head off. I did already take a look at it, but I just want to kind of go through and show you guys what we're going to be doing, the future upgrades for the car with the engine and everything like that. Yeah, let's take a look. Also, we do have some new little shop upgrades, which will be cool, but we have a huge mess right here. So let me go ahead and clean this real quick. Alrighty, boom. Got that thing knocked out super fast. Anyway, let's take a look at this little motor. We're just gonna zip off the valve covers. I honestly, as you can see, pulled pretty much all the head studs off. I just have a couple here, just holding it on, holding the valve cover on. Took out all the push rods. So background on this motor, I've had it for, I wanna say like 2 years-ish, maybe a little less. I bought it because we were having some overheating issues with this one, as some people know. We ended up getting that figured out. It pretty much was a fan issue. There was a bunch of gunk and nasty crap in that engine. Like all inside the water jackets. Got that all cleaned out, flushed it over and over again. Even after flushing it tons of times, it still is just full of nastiness. So we bought another engine just because we could not get it figured out. Ended up putting some Spall fans on this thing. That pretty much solved everything on it. But anyway, got all that figured out. So we've been running the same stock bottom end 5.3 Gen 3 motor for 2 years now. Have not been nice to it, but it's been holding up pretty good. But I ended up finding this engine. It is a aluminum block L33. The story behind this steel was the guy had it. He worked for a shop. A customer came in with like I think a Buick Rainier or whatever the Buick, all-wheel drive Buicks are. It had a blown up motor in it. They got this motor from a remanufacturing company. Let's see, I think the tag's on the other side. Yeah, it's right here. Right there. And you can tell just on the cylinder heads too, like it has all the signs of remanufacturing. I mean, it's super clean motor from the outside. He said they dropped it in there. The thing ran for like, they had it running for like 10,000 miles or so. Very, very little mileage. Something happened to the car. I can't remember if they crashed it or something happened. And so he bought the engine out of it, or bought the car and pulled the engine out of it, whatever it was. And then I bought it from him and I got a super good deal on it. L33s are very interesting. Gen 3, it's a Gen 3 motor. That's same Gen 3. But it's like one of the best Gen 3 motors that you can get because it's aluminum block. So this will shed at least 100, I think it's 150 pounds lighter than the iron block that's in there. So it'll shed a lot of weight off the car, especially on the front end. It has 799 heads on it, which is basically the same thing as a 243, which is the best cathedral port heads that they had. And any of these, they're a lot better than even, well, there's 706 heads on this one, which they're pretty good cathedral port heads as well. But they have good cylinder heads. These motors have flat top pistons, where like this motor right here has a dish piston. So these motors have a lot better compression ratio. I'm sitting here standing up and I'm realizing that I'm not standing up, but I was sitting at like kind of sitting down, like squatting. I'm like, why the hell am I squatting when I just put together this freaking nice tray or little seat thing, and I'm not even using it. So anywho, let me take a nice seat here. Back to what I was saying, it has flat top pistons in it, so this will have a more or higher compression ratio. Really, that, you know, back in the 90s, early 2000s, you know, even before that, it was, you know, thought that for a boosted application, you want to lower the compression ratio, which is sort of true. You can run more boost, but as times have changed and technology advanced, maybe it's tuning, fuel. There's a lot of variables. I think fuel definitely has a lot to do with it, with the 85 and other things coming into place. You can run a little bit more, a little higher compression ratio, and the motors really like, the boost really likes the compression. So that's something that was important to me. I really wanted to have, you know, like flat tops or something that has a little bit more compression to it, to give me a little bit, you know, extra advantage in that area. So that's something that was important to me. As far as the displacement, 5.3, having a smaller displacement. Of course, you can go a 6 liter or bigger. The car is pretty light. Obviously, it is not an ideal chassis for drag racing, so I don't think the extra torque will really benefit me a whole lot. If I had a Fox body or something that's got a little bit better chassis, a little bit better suspension for what it is, maybe that, you know, it may work perfectly fine with that extra torque, but really I don't think I need it. I think the smaller displacement motor like this, with a lot of boost going through it, will be very efficient and definitely do what I need. People have been very, very, very fast on 5.3 setups. So we're just trying to build something that is, you know, kind of perfect for what I'm looking for. So anyway, good starting foundation. That's kind of the background on the motor. I will pull the this cylinder head off. Main reason why I wanted to look at the cylinder heads, when it was being that it's a remanufactured motor, I wanted to pull the cylinder heads off, not only to look inside and see if the guy was blowing smoke up my ass, or I also wanted to make sure that it wasn't punched out any, because I don't know why it was rebuilt. And if I'm looking to, you know, just see what I have, number one, I want to see what's the condition of the motor, see if it was punched out any. The other reason why I wanted to see if it was punched out any is I picked up some Cali's H-beam rods for it. So I got these for a pretty sweet deal. And I wasn't going to do the H-beam rod, or put rods and pistons in this motor. But I found, like I said, I found these for a really good deal. And I really just thought about it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do rods and pistons in this. Yes, these, you know, I'm kind of, you know, you have your flat tops, which are really good. These rods, I think, are actually a little bit better than what this one has. Maybe not, I don't know. Doesn't matter. You know, so this really would have been a better setup, but I want to play it safe. I really want to push the car even harder. It's easy for a lot of people to say, oh, you know, like, oh, it should hold it, no problem. A lot of people who say that has not been, you know, 140 plus miles an hour going through the top of the track with no roll cage, which that will be something we're going to work on this winter. But no roll cage with a stock bottom end motor that we don't even know how many freaking thousand miles are on it. 7,500 RPM with, you know, 20 pounds of boost or whatever going through it. It's a little terrifying, because if a rod decides to see ya, because I mean, these motors were not made to do this. Yes, they're incredible, but if it shoots a rod out of the side of the block and throws me in the wall and kills me, or I get hurt, or, you know, let's say at the least destroys my whole car, you know, it's always a safer bet. So with these, it'll be a lot safer. Also, be able to push and make a lot more power. So if I'm gonna go rods, which are the big one, I'm gonna throw pistons in this. If I'm gonna put pistons in this motor, we need to see, I don't wanna just assume that, oh, it's probably just got a stock bore piston in it. I need to tear it apart and see if it's been punched out, or you know, see what we're working with here. I believe I'm gonna keep stock crank. These cranks are pretty stout in these cars, or in these motors. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and keep a stock crank and just do a piston rod setup. So anyway, let's pull the cylinder head off, see what we're working with, and then we'll go from there with it. All right, so first glance, I did not clean this up at all. This is exactly how it looked. Pretty clean. I mean, overall, it was looking pretty good. I know there's no push rods in there because I already pulled those out, but overall, pretty clean. So we're gonna go ahead and just take off these rocker arms real quick, pull those off, and then we'll go ahead and pull off the cylinder head. All right, so first we're gonna take a look at the cylinder head. Overall, looks pretty good. Obviously there's a little carbon buildup, but that's kind of weird why that one is different than all the rest. May just go ahead and have these checked out as well. That's not a good sign, I feel like, but what the hell do I know? But I would imagine they should all look the same. So we'll have that one, we'll have them checked out anyways. But anyway, moral of the story. So as we look across here, water jackets look really good. The cross hatching in the cylinders look, I mean, looks great. Definitely looks to be, still pretty fresh. Again, cylinder head, we'll check on that. But I did clean off one of the cylinders, and this is what I'm saying. Okay, so 075, and then upside down, you see looks like the overall bore. So 075, I'm assuming that's 75 millimeter oversized piston, and then 3808, maybe a 7. I'm assuming this thing's been bored 30 over. The sleeves still look to be in good, like pretty thick. So really what I'm thinking is this is now a bored 30 over L33. So with stock stroke, with a 3.810 piston in it, I think it's going to be around 330 cubic inch motor. So we're looking at a 330 motor is what it's going to be. I do have a set of LS7 lifters, brand new, sitting ready to go in this thing. I have chromoly push rods in this, and obviously the dual valve springs. I'll be running the same camshaft, so a lot of similar stuff, but yeah, so pretty sweet. 430 over, I didn't care. All right, now we try that again. I did not care if it was bored out any. I really didn't. I mean, the push rods look to be in just like really clean. But yeah, I didn't care if it was bored out at all. If it is, you know, a little bit bored out a little bit, then great. I'm just gonna have a little bit bigger cubic inch motor. I have no reason to believe the guy was lying to me. I do. I think I lucked out pretty good. I mean, because it really is super clean. The cross hatching in the cylinders, I think you can see it in there. I mean, it really does look pretty clean. Again, I'm not a big cylinder head guy or anything, but I would imagine, I mean, the outside looked the same. I'll talk to some of my buddies and see why that one would be different. Maybe all these are, maybe they replaced the valve, you know, maybe all these were good and then they replaced this valve because maybe it dropped a valve or something, which is the reason why they would have bored out the motor, maybe, you know, but I'm just assuming, so maybe that's the reason why. But overall, I mean, man, it looks to be in pretty good shape. So that's the main, I just kind of want to go over this with you guys. That is the main goal of what we're going to be doing. We are going to you know, be working on this. I'll be getting a set of pistons over time. We're not in any rush. The goal is to switch these motors out this winter. So I'm going to try to make this one last the rest of this season because I don't want to have any downtime. The car's running good right now. We'll keep it that way. One thing I might do is sell that intake manifold, the LS1 intake manifold that's on there, and switch it out with something a little bit different. We will see. I got a guy, I think he actually watches the channel, Evan, that may be buying it. We'll see. If not, no big deal. We'll keep this up. So if we do switch out the intake, I think we'll switch over something cool that'll make a little bit more power for our setup. But overall, anyway guys, thanks for watching. Another update, guess I forgot to show you this. We did get the tires switched out. Right now it's on a 28-10-5 ET Drag Radio Pro. This side it does pretty good. It's not rubbing, at least not that much. This side it's rubbing a lot. So you can see it's just tearing the tire up and it's touching right there. When the car's on the ground, it's got like this much clearance. But I don't know why there's more caster on this side than that side. Maybe a BMW expert can tell me that, but I don't see any caster adjustment. So I don't know if like an R-tab bushing is going bad, causing some caster movement up. I'll probably reach out to some of my friends and see if someone can help me with that, but I don't know. So we'll probably be taking those off and switching them to back to like a 26 or something. I don't know. We'll just have to figure that out. But that was kind of disappointing. But anyway, another update. We did have a photo shoot with Travis from Autophase. So go check out his YouTube. I think the video shoot and photo shoot will probably be out soon. That takes a long time to edit that kind of stuff as far as your rollers and photos and things like that. He's got some big things going on. So anyways, thanks for watching guys. We will see you soon. I'll be trying to make more content, see if we can get some updates going. But anyway guys, thanks.